Hello Raider Homer, this is Keith Smith, the Crusader Raider, calling you from London, England, with a plug today for our Silver and Black UK Project 300, as we try to recruit 300 new members to the Silver and Black UK here across the pond. People can sign up today and then you'll receive your exclusive merchandise of flags, pennants, the members patch and a whole host of other freebies in our swag pack. And if you sign up before August the 31st, you can come in for a draw to win a signed Colton Miller mini helmet as well as some other exclusive Silver and Black UK merchandise. The cost is only £20 per person for the year, and that's approximately $25, so it's not a great deal to sign up. The sign up details are www.silverandblackuk.com/sign-up. That's www.silverandblackuk.com/sign-up, and then you'll be in there with a chance to win the prize, but more importantly you'll be helping us support charities both sides of the pond, including schools here in the UK for children with additional needs, and our partners in America, including the Great Blitnikoff Foundation for Fred and Angela, as we help that foundation in the States. I hope you guys are all well. I'm looking forward to the season, looking forward to what's coming up. Sad I can't be with you at the moment. This is going to be a break for me this year. It'll be the first time in 25 years I've not crossed the pond to come to a Raiders game, which is, real sad. But we're in difficult and challenging times, and so I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all following the rules. Take your protection, do what you got to do, and just stay safe and healthy, and I'm sure that we'll all be back together again soon, and hopefully together in Vegas in 2021. Feel good for this season. Feel we're going to do well this season. It's going to be a positive time. Obviously the new stadium, we've got some great new players signing up, and I think we got a chance. It's not all about Kansas City anymore. Let's think about our Raiders coming back and challenging. So it's exciting time. Raider Homer, I thank you for allowing me to be on the show with this message. Obviously, I'll try and be on there live one time, but with the 7 or 8 hour time difference, it just makes it a little difficult to be on your show sometimes. But love your work, love what you're doing. Please encourage the Raider Nation that listens to your show to sign up to Silver and Black UK.
Ready! Man, I need a producer. So y'all got like 5 minutes of complete silence at the beginning of this video. So I appreciate y'all sticking around. But it's game day, baby. It's game day. Here we go. Versus the Patriots, man. We're traveling all the way to Foxborough. Hey, the temperature's not supposed to be too cold over there today, so we got a shot. Of course, in inclement weather, we never do good, but it's not going to be inclement weather over there. And I got us winning this game. And, we're going to get into our 3 keys to victory. I think this is an important game, because we got 2 tough games following this week. So we have to win this game. We got to. But, we got a couple of guests on today. Coach Hansen, he's not going to be able to make it. But we got SilverBullet, who's a Patriots super fan. He has a good story. Die-hard Patriots fan. I know that kind of makes you want to throw up in your mouth, but you got to be able to appreciate the other fans' dedication to their team, because there's a lot of fans out there that are dedicated to their team, just like the Raider Nation is to the Raiders. So I appreciate SilverBullet coming on. We're going to hear from Mark Reyes first, talking Raider Shield, giving our 3 keys to victory. And then we're going to hear from Raider Jester. He's out there in Vegas. He's doing good things. He's coming up in the world. So I appreciate everybody that's come on the show. So with that being said, let's get to our 3 keys to victory. Hello, Raider Nation. Welcome back to 3 Keys to Victory with Talking Raider Shield and Raider Homer. Man, we are 2-0. I'm super stoked. So how you doing, Talking Raider Shield?
As usual, I'm doing really well. How are you?
Man, I'm stoked, brother. I mean, we got a chance. We got a chance to go 3-0. This could be. We need this win. The Buffalo Bills are pretty strong, as well as the Chiefs. So if we can get this win, and something goes down, and everything goes wrong after that, we'll still be 3-2 going into the bye week. So with that being said, what are your 3 keys to victory?
Well, the first thing is we got to keep Carr smiling. I mean, football is a mental game. It's just as much as it is a physical game, and maybe even more so. And one thing that I've noticed is that he's been smiling a lot. I mean, he looks happy and he looks comfortable, and that has a lot to do with his confidence in his teammates on offense, to help him out. In the past, I mean, the offensive talent was okay, but now he has, all these pieces to work with. And when the Saints went up early last week, he was smiling and joking that if he, if he knew, this isn't over yet.
Right.
So, a happy car is a dangerous car.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I got to say for my number 1. Number 2, we got to keep momentum on our side, which means, continuing to play relatively penalty-free and turnover-free, football. So in keeping with the mental aspect, if we stay free of frustrating mistakes, mentally we can focus on whatever situations we find ourselves in more clearly, kind of like what happened last week early in the game. And 3, finally, we have to get into Cam Newton's head. We know that he's a dual threat, and how do we do that? We take away Edelman. First, that's his guy, so we take him away. That's like his safety valve, if you will, kind of like what Waller's been for us lately. And we have to make him pay when he runs. We got to smash that dude in his mouth, both literally and figuratively. In short, we have to make him feel frustrated. We got to frustrate him. And, frustrated quarterbacks make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And those are my 3 keys.
Excellent. For me, number 1, the defensive line cannot over-pursue. All right, Cam Newton loves to run the ball. We cannot let him run the ball on 3rd and long and pick up a first down. So the defensive line, I'm hoping they'll just stay in the one gap, defensive approach, right? We haven't really done very well as far as, stunts and moving our defensive linemen around. So this week, just hold the line. Do not let Cam Newton break the pocket. And when you get him in your arms, wrap up and pull him down. And I'm hoping to see Corey Littleton spy Cam Newton, because I think even though Littleton's shorter and smaller than Newton, he's a great tackler. And he's a ball hawk. So as long as he can keep his eye on Newton in a spy formation, or as a spy, we got a chance to win. All right. Now, number 2 is the O-line must dominate a smaller D-line for the Patriots. If you go back and you look at the last game versus the Seahawks, they were able to run and of course take some deep shots. So our O-line, we got to dominate this defensive line. We cannot miss blocks and let Carr get sacked. He got sacked 3 times last week, so we cannot do that. We need this offensive line, our offensive line, to dominate this smaller defensive line. Pave the way for Josh Jacobs, who's dinged up a little bit, but as long as the holes are big, he's going to get 5 to 6 yards a chunk, so, and then keeping Carr upright, we're going to get those slant routes. So that's what we have to do. Our offensive line has to dominate the defensive line of the Patriots. Now, my third key to victory, I'm going with Gruden again. All right, Gruden has to call a balanced game. We're missing Ruggs now, so Edwards, he needs the game plan with Edwards like he did with Ruggs, because Renfrow is always going to be solid, moving around in the slot and all this and that, but Edwards, you got to utilize him, because Bill Belichick's don't want to take away Waller, because Waller is a great player for us. And you heard Bill Belichick talk about Waller for however long he did in his press conference, and that's high praise for Waller. So that's going to be their focus on defense, is shutting down Waller. So if Gruden can utilize Edwards' size and speed, then we can beat the Patriots, especially with Josh Jacobs running the ball well if our offensive line blocks. But those are my 3 keys to victory, man. So here we go. We got to be 3-0, right?
Absolutely.
So what kind of score do you got?
Man, we scored 34 points the last 2 weeks, so I'm going to go with that trend. I'm going to say we score, 35 to 28.
Cool. I think this weekend, with all the footage that's out there, we're going to it's going to be a lower scoring game. I'm going with 24-17. I think Bill Belichick, he's a good defensive-minded coach, so he's going to be able to keep us out of the end zone. We're not going to, we're not going to be able to score a lot of points on him, I don't think. But again, I think that our young defense is coming around the corner, so we're going to be able to hold them if we don't let Cam Newton run all over the yard. So I'm going to go with 24-17. Raiders go 3-0, week 3. Those are our 3 keys to victory, Raider Nation. So, wait, before I let you go, Raider Mark, tell the Raider Nation where to find you on social media.
Well, Raider Nation, if you need to get a hold of me, if you just want to talk football or talk about the Raiders, you can find me on Facebook as Mark Reyes, a.k.a. Raider Mark.
All right, cool. I appreciate you coming back on the Raider Homer channel, brother.
All right, hey, always.
All right, that was our 3 keys to victory with Talking Raider Shield and Raider Homer. 30 to 24, huh, Sheila? All right. I'll take it. As long as we're winning. Like I said, we need this game. We don't know the Bills are pretty tough. The Chiefs are pretty tough. We're a little banged up. So we got to get this win. I think these are the kind of teams that we have to beat. Yes, there's Cam Newton, and, he's the main offensive weapon. We cannot let one main guy beat us. We can't do that if we want to be a playoff team. And you know what? On the NFL Network, first thing they talk about is Cam Newton, and then they don't even mention the Raiders. You know what I mean? They're just all about Cam Newton. Cam. So just shut him down, and we will get this win. And we need this win. We do. All right, cool. So thanks to Raider Mark for coming on and giving us his 3 keys to victory. Shout out to Sheila, Raider at China, and Raider at Dakota in the chat line. Appreciate it. Hey, Watts Raider, what's up, brother? Yeah. The Pats defense is pretty suspect. They've given up a lot of points, but I think that with Ruggs being out, Jacobs being a little dinged up, we're not gonna be as high flying this game, but we're still gonna score some points, But yeah, I got us winning at 24-17. So let us know what you think, Watts Raider. Appreciate you coming in, man. Appreciate you tuning in. All right, cool. So now the next segment is with the SilverBullet, who is a Patriots superfan. Of course, we had to endure 20 years of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick together. So he had a lot to say. So this is a fairly long segment. But you know what? I enjoyed talking to SilverBullet. He had a great story. And like I said, this dude, he has a man cave, just picture after picture after picture. You have to be able to enjoy his fandom, He's a dedicated fan to the Patriots. So let's go ahead and get to SilverBullet and our Behind Enemy Lines segment. Hello, Raider Nation. Welcome to Behind the Enemy Lines, and today we have SilverBullet of the Patriots. Almost threw up in my mouth, man. Excuse me. Sorry. How you doing, SilverBullet?
I'm awesome, and it's great to see you, irregardless of the jersey you're wearing, because everybody knows that Homer's based in Massachusetts in Springfield. Let's go!
Oh man, that's why I moved out of there.
Really? You
Yeah.
also know there was an episode of The Simpsons where you played on the Patriots, which was another phenomenal pretty experience.
Dude, come on, man. You're killing me. You're killing me.
It is what it is.
All right. Let's talk about you. That's enough talk about me. Let's talk about you. Tell the Red
Okay.
Nation how you became a Patriots fan.
Well, first of all, I'm from New England, specifically Rhode Island, which is the smallest state, of course, in the entire United States. But ironically, we're not like big states, and Foxborough is only 15 minutes from the Rhode Island border. So I basically live 15, 20 minutes away from the stadium, which is far closer than anyone in my tailgate crew. I have friends that live up by Salem, and that's about an hour away. And then I have a really good friend who lives in Connecticut, which is just over an hour away. So people are like, really, you're in Rhode Island? I'm like, yeah. But what most people don't realize is back in the day, before we had Gillette, we had what they called Schaefer Stadium, and they didn't have a practice field there. So they used to practice at Bryant College in Rhode Island, which was about 10 minutes away from me. So I grew up loving all sports Boston. My grandparents lived 4 blocks away from the Pawtucket Red Sox, which of course is the farm team for the Boston Red Sox, and we have the Providence Bruins, which is the farm team for the Boston Bruins. So I grew up with all kinds of sports. I played Pee Wee football when I was 5, and I played T-ball also when I was 5. So that's how I really got into the sports. Football is my number one sport, and baseball is number 2, simply because I played it. And when you know how the game works, and you're a big part of it, because I was a catcher for baseball, and I was an offensive lineman for football. I know how plays develop, and you can kind of see ahead and say,
Yeah.
oh, this is what's going to happen. So that's where my love of football and eventually the Patriots became all on the way it is. But so when I was 6 years old, my great uncle was taking. I have 2 brothers, and said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to take all the boys, to a practice at Bryant College, which is in Rhode Island, and let's see how they like it." Because up until then, I hadn't played football yet. I was just doing the Pee Wee thing. So of course, that's flag football and all that stuff. So it's just like, is he going to be into it? And sure enough, that's where my love started. I got to go to the practice. And after practice, my first ever autograph, I got to meet the then quarterback, Steve Grogan, on a trading card, which I still have to this day. And most people are like, really? I'm like, why wouldn't I keep it? Like, back then, you're a 6-year-old. He's my idol. He's the quarterback of the Patriots, irregardless, of if they were winning seasons, still just to be enamored when you're 6 years old, to meet one of your idols that you watch on television, to say, I met Steve Grogan, and he asked me, hey, do you like football? I'm like, yeah, I play football. He's like, keep at it, buddy, and someday you'll be here. And I guess he didn't know, how right he was, that someday I would be there, watching the Patriots every single game, home or, 4 away games every single year. That it just became the biggest love, and that's how it all just, it snowballed. That it was entangled in my life. It was the biggest part of my life that I ever thought was going to happen, and little would I have known at 6 years old that was the trigger.
So, who inspired you to be the Silver Bullet?
Well, that actually became a different story. Having been to all the games that I had been to, we finally had the opportunity for the first time ever to go to a Super Bowl. Now, mind you, before that I was too young. So the '84 game, versus the Bears, even though my great uncle got to go, he took some older cousins. I didn't get to go because I was, too young. So my first chance ever to go was actually the game versus the Rams in New Orleans. And I wanted to go all out. I said, I want to do something different. I want to just be more than the screaming, fan in the crowd. I want to be loud and proud for my team. So then, we'll keep it a secret. I took a Drew Bledsoe jersey and I ripped off a 1. Yeah. And I front and back, and then his name. I only wanted to be that one guy. That's all I wanted to be was, hey, it's the one guy. But I ended up, of course, I got tickets to my first ever Super Bowl, which was, of course, incredible, and it was my first win. So while I was there, I had gotten stopped by Life magazine. They said, you know what, you're definitely the biggest fan here. So we need your story. We're gonna take a picture. So that's where it all started. I didn't get named the SilverBullet for another 6 years because I just always wanted to be the one guy. I never had a nameplate. I, of course, switched over from no longer being the half Drew Bledsoe jersey, which, of course, Julian Edelman probably wears now, number 11. But as a joke, one of my buddies in my tailgate crew bought me a plain number 1 jersey. And it just said, Mr. Number. So that was where it started. But then I ended up going to a Miami game. I believe it's 13 years ago. And the announcers, the TV got on me, and the announcers like, hey, look, it's the SilverBullet from Foxborough. And I didn't think anything of it because I don't know. I'm actually at the game in Miami, but of course TV saw it. The next week I'm back in Foxborough, and our announcers, namely Scott Zolak, who used to be one of our quarterbacks, is like, hey, look, it's the SilverBullet. I wonder what gauge he is. And then my whole tailgate crew is, that's it. You're the SilverBullet. If the announcers are calling you on national television, that's your name. So as a joke, my other buddy brought me a jersey that Christmas that said SilverBullet, 1. So that's where the name was and stuck. I never picked it. I don't think I would have chosen that. Yeah, you gotta. I don't think I would have chosen SilverBullet. I don't know where it comes from. I get the face. So on a funny side, jokes later, the next year, next thing you know, anytime they showed me on TV, what would they have under my face? Oh, Viagra, Cialis. I'm like, oh no. We're a family thing here, we but luckily the kids don't know what that means, but it was kind of funny. So friends at home would snap pictures and look, you were just on TV. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, great. Yeah, there's a SilverBullet with Viagra right under your chest. I'm like, that's special. So it's kind of funny that they know it, and I like it when people drop the silver and just say, hey, it's the bullet. It's the bullet, So I'm okay with that because it has less of a meaning. Because, the girls are always, giving me all jokes like, really? I got a SilverBullet at home in my drawer. Yeah. It is what it is.
Own it, man. Own it. Just own it, man.
Yeah. So now, through the bumpy ride that we've had, the past couple of years, and especially this year, losing, Tom and Gronk, and of course a bunch of players opting out because of COVID. You just have to still keep the faith and believe. But no matter what happens, I'm born here. I like my Red Sox. Love my Red Sox. I got many season tickets to the Red Sox. Love my Red Sox. Celtics, Bruins, Patriots, New England Revolution. We have our own soccer team as well. So I'm all sports, but I don't go crazy like this for any of the other sports. Like this is where my passion lies and relies, and it's kind of entwined that the Patriots organization has asked me to be involved with charity events because the kids get a kick out of me. They think I'm a giant cartoon character, much like you, and actually here's a funny experience which blew me away. So I'm in stadium practice, I'm going to say 5 years ago. And I had all these little kids, 5, 10 years old, all lined up to get my autograph and a picture. And Matthew Slater comes by, and I said, oh, go get him. Go get his autograph. And the kid's like, no, we don't want him. We want you. And I'm like, kids, if I was you, I'd be over there getting an autograph from him. I'm here all the time. I'm a freebie, but you're not always going to get to meet a Patriot player and get an autograph from him. But I felt bad for the kids that didn't, but you know what? They were excited, to meet me because, they see me on TV and get my autograph and a picture with me, and I'm like, I'm okay with that because if I'm putting out, to the next generation, like I brought my nephew and niece to their first games, and they love it. Of course, my niece doesn't like the cold weather. It is what it is. So I try to bring her to an early game, even if it is a preseason. Every single year, but it's all about the next generation, and that's actually the way I look at it is giving back and making sure that there is, fans to bring on our legacy, of loving, whether it be, the Patriots, the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Bruins, the same way we do. Because otherwise they'll be dying sports, like almost like it seems now, not to have fans in the stadium.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, the Raider Nation's big on Generation Next, planting seeds and whatnot. The Raider Nation is huge about, advancing the Raider Nation and keeping the spirit alive, and doing, giving back to the children and the communities. And, and speaking of, do you have any charities with your tailgaters that y'all contribute to?
Oh, yeah. Well, first and foremost, every single year, I give in my time, not only as the SilverBullet, but also I give my here, because we do the Cuts for Cancer. And we actually have Hasbro Children's Hospital up here. So that's big, near and dear to my heart. But of course, the Patriots have their own charity organization, which again is, primarily giving back to the community and the kids. We have Cradles for Crayons, where if we go to a game and we donate, hats, gloves, and jackets, as must know, as it gets colder, that a lot of underprivileged children don't have that ability to have nice, warm clothing. So that's one of the things that they'll have actually at the stadium, is a whole clothing drive. And, they ask, bring a brand new or generally used, jacket and gloves and hat and scarf, so that we can pass it on. But I think that any which way I can use my notoriety for charities, I've been fortunate enough to get involved in. I'm involved with the Sober House that's actually the next town over in Rentham. The biggest reason why was I actually had one of my best friends pass away from an overdose, so I got involved with that. And Scott Sosi actually is a very big supporter of that charity because he lives in the same town of Rentham, which is the next town over from Foxborough. And I'm also involved, which because I love animals, I'm actually involved in an animal rescue. And I'm actually, on the board of directors and the webmaster for that. So bringing my notoriety to different charities, and people will, line up to get a picture with me, which of course I'm still shocked by. But if it's one way of giving back, I love it. And one of the other fortunate things that I'm really fortunate on is getting to meet players, near and wide. I've met every single player, the coaches, and of course, both the owners, Bob and Jonathan Kraft, who are phenomenal, by the way. I can't say enough about. And so here's a funny story, just to backpedal. I went to San Diego 8 years ago, and I kind of should have realized it was a foreshadowing of what was going to happen. So I'm in San Diego for the game. We make a vacation out of it. Just like this year, I'm supposed to go to LA for a full week so I can see both the Chargers and the Rams game. So 8 years ago, I'm with my tailgate crew, and we're in San Diego at the game. And I had a season ticket holder, the Chargers come up to me and say, you're so lucky. You have the best owner in the entire NFL. I'm like, why would you say that? He's like, follow me. So we walked over to where his seats were. He's like, touch that wall. I touched the wall, and the concrete just crumbled. And the railing was shimmy. And I was like, wow. He's like, our owner don't care about us. And sure enough, that was a foreshadowing because in 2 years, of course, the team was moved. And everyone was burning, their gear for the Chargers. But it's just to think that, that owners would just give up. And I get it. We almost moved. Most people don't know that. Before the Crafts bought us, we could have been moved out, to the West Coast. They were talking, hey, what about LA? Hey, what about even Canada? They were talking, hey, Canada wants an NFL. I mean, they got as close as you could possibly imagine, with the Bills, because the Bills are only 10 minutes away from the border. But the fact is, Bon Jovi wanted to buy the Bills and, move them to Canada. But we're very lucky. Not only did Mr. Kraft keep it centrally located in Massachusetts, but there was another push that they wanted to move it to Connecticut. And not that I would have been against, driving 2 hours, because of course I would have. But for me, it's most convenient to be 15 minutes away, and I can be at the stadium. And most people don't know this. And you should, if you ever have the chance. I'm not trying to promote Gillette. We actually have a wraparound mall. The only wraparound mall of any stadium. And the only thing that comes close is Minnesota, because they have a mall near them, next to them. But Kraft actually built a wraparound mall with one of the biggest Bass Pro Shops on the entire East Coast. So I'll be honest, I would be a phony if I didn't say that my favorite stadium is not Gillette. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not as awe-inspiring as some of the other stadiums I've been to. Atlanta is pretty incredible. I went there for Super Bowl 2 years ago. Pretty awesome to have an opening roof. But of course, we're from New England, and we're used to football should be played outside. But believe it or not, my favorite stadium to ever attend a game at is by far Dallas. It's seriously and I've had the opportunity to get a tour the day before, the Saturday before the game I went to 6 years ago, and you're in awe. Like to be standing on the 50-yard line and just look up and around and you just say, "This is incredible. This is a masterpiece that they built here," and it really is. It's something for other stadiums to love to do. It blew me away. Now, I have been to all stadiums, and I constantly say San Diego was the crappiest stadium. Because for us, seriously, Petco, it's now apparently San Diego State's stadium. But back in the day, when I did go 8 years ago, we actually had to walk through a muddy, kind of stagnant water puddle to get to our seats because the drainage system was so bad. It was just, and their Tron, the smallest Tron of every stadium I've been to, like by far. It looked like it was a 60-inch Tron just posted up in the middle. And but it was still a great experience because San Diego was absolutely beautiful city to go to. The fans of San Diego were phenomenal, very welcoming and friendly. Like I said, I can't say enough about the season ticket holder that, my heart breaks, that his owner abandoned them and, moved the team away to LA and just said, screw you fans and from all the support you guys have had year after year. But, and of course, it was a phenomenal win. That even Bill Belichick said it felt like it was a home game because honestly, I think we outnumbered San Diego fans to 7-3 kind of deal.
Yeah,
but
we used to take over San Diego also. But, earlier you mentioned no longer having Tom Brady and Gronkowski. So who were the top 3 free agents that the Patriots signed in the offseason?
Well, if you want to say free agent, was number one Cam Newton, because who would have thought that? And I'll be honest with you, I was never a big Cam fan before this because he's real showboaty, and as you know, neither Tom or Drew, or even Steve Rogan were showboats in being quarterbacks. And you want a humble team. You don't want people that are over the top. And I always viewed Cam as that. Thank goodness he was in the NFC, so I didn't have to worry about him every year. Although Roger decided that we could play Cam, in preseason every single year, which was always interesting. But and I actually do have an experience with Cam prior to being a Patriot because I don't have an experience meeting him yet. But the one time I did meet him was actually playing Carolina 3 years ago, and he got hurt, and I feel bad because the kind of fans that sometimes end up at games aren't the kind of fans that you want to see or you want to be involved with, and sometimes it gives your team a bad name. But when you see fans booing other players or whatever, it's like, why? What's that going to change? You think they're going to think anything less? And unfortunately, he was being carted off because, of course, he got injured. And fans are like, boo, get out of here, Cam. And it's like, why? Like, whatever. I don't ever want to see any player hurt. I'll just put that out there. I was a football player. You don't want to see anyone hurt because you don't know, what the circumstances will be, or if that could unfortunately be the end of their career. Or season, of course, but you have to look at it. I don't want to ever see any player, ever. I don't care what team you're on. You could be on the Giants. You could be, you could be Eli Manning, who, of course, we're not big fans of. But, even like Jimmy, still love Jimmy because, ex-Patriot. I didn't want to see him hurt last week. That's not something you want to see because, that's their career, that's their livelihood, that's their family. That's what their family's gonna have to rely on. So I don't want to see that. But anyway, long story short, back to the Cam. I wasn't like, and of course he flipped this off and all that other good stuff. And it's like, really, why don't you just ignore it like other people? I mean, it happens to me. I go to 4 away games every single year. I've seen good and bad fans. I actually, believe it or not, I'm really good friends with the super fan up in Buffalo. He'll have me up to his house. He's had me in his tailgate. Actually, twice I've been in his tailgate the whole time because I didn't go with a big group of my own. Fortunately, I've actually been to Buffalo 8 times because it's the closest and, don't tell anyone, by far the cheapest tickets in the NFL. Like, you can go for $40 and it's $10 at the park. That's crazy. I can't do that anywhere else. But fortunately for me, Buffalo isn't the closest. New York, the Jets and Giants are the closest, but Buffalo, it's a straight ride. We take the Mass Pike and you're there, and for me, like 5.5 hours. So it's a nice weekend. If you've never been, I highly recommend because, of course, Niagara Falls. But the fact is, so really good friends. We built up a camaraderie. We both respect each other. That we're both super fans of our own team. And of course, I'm involved with a super fan group. And I actually got to meet many of them last year when I went to Canton for the induction of, one of my childhood favorites, Ty Law, who finally got inducted at the NFL Hall of Fame. So being who I am, I gained a lot of great experiences, and I realized that I am, very fortunate, and I'm very thankful for that the fans accept me, that the players, which for me is incredible. The one good thing is I don't get starstruck. So I've met like Steven Seagal and Mark Wahlberg, and I'm just not starstruck. It's like, yeah, okay, they're a normal person that happened to be, a actor or a football player or a baseball player. So I admire that. I admire them for their talents, and that's great. And if this is, one of my talents, other than being analytical for my job, it's very fortunate. So when I do meet players, I respect that. But what blows me away is when, and here's a quick story. So I'm actually at a charity event, and I had this tiny, cute, little adorable lady come up to me, and she said, "Would you mind getting a picture with my husband because he really wants one?" I said, "Sure. Who's your husband?" She turns and points and says, "Oh, he is." I said, "So Matt Light is your husband, and you want a picture with me?" I said, "Sure. When you're done taking a picture of him with me, will you take a picture of me with him?" And since then, I've been big fans, and of course, Matt Light has his own charity that I'm involved with every single year. Speaking of which, I've also been involved with Best Buddies for the past 12 years. And not just because Tom Brady was in it, because believe it or not, a lot of the Patriot players do that because it's always done in Massachusetts on the Cape and Hyannis sport. So, like right now, Julian took over for Tom, and James White does it. Prayers and heartfelt wishes for the White family after losing his father, unfortunately, last weekend to a car crash, and his mom was in intensive care. So, James, we're thinking of you. We love you, and hoping for the best. Hopefully, we'll see you back next week because he is out again this week, of course, because his mom's still in intensive care. Yeah.
So
and I bet,
your top free agent. Now, what are the other two?
If I had to probably guess, not as free agents, I think we did really well in the draft with Stacey, and the fact that we re-signed both the McCourty brothers, and we gave the best, one of the better defensive players, Stephen Gilmore, a updated extension. So we don't want him to go anywhere because last year he got Defensive Player of the Year. And I think it's a team. It's cohesive. And what has amazed me is that Cam is not the Cam people know from Carolina. He is being very cohesive and inclusive. Like, for instance, the first game that he played for us against Miami, his second touchdown, he gave the ball to Dave Andrews and said, "Here, go for it." And Dave Andrews spiked it. So to me, it's endearing, that to see that he is as connected with the team as he is. But I think, in a way, he was humbled when every other single team passed on him, including the Raiders.
Yeah.
Everybody passed on his own team, Carolina, that was with since day one. He was the number one overall draft pick, and most people don't realize that, apart from also being MVP. And for your team just to swish you aside and not really care. And then other teams say something must be wrong. We're not gonna touch that. No one did. So I think he knew that we were probably, one of his last options, and now he wants to prove to everyone, not only Carolina but to the entire NFL that he's got a lot more gas in his tank.
So Cam Newton on offense, that's who the Raiders got to watch out for, right?
Well, that he's a tricky one, I would say. And what I think you probably should also look out for is that he's built up a phenomenal relationship with his receivers. Him and Jules, if you haven't seen his, most recent comments, he's sporting JE11 gear. And the two of them, Tommy might be gone, and Jules' best friend is down in Tampa. But Jules isn't afraid of making new buddies, and it looks like Cam and Jules are both on the same train, headed towards victory after victory. So,
well, not this week, but maybe.
Well, see what happens. Time will tell. We do have home field advantage, even though we're not there. The funny thing is, I was told 2 weeks ago, I didn't necessarily hear, but I was heard from several friends. They're like, "We heard you on the fan track." I'm like, "What?" On the noise that they're doing for the game, so it seems more authentic. I'm like, "We heard you. We know your voice." I'm like, I could almost make sense, because I don't know if you have been to games, but they go around and they actually have those little cones with the microphones, and they want to get the fan noise. And of course, they've done it many times for me. And they're like, "We know we heard you." I'm like, "Really? Like, we know your voice?" I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Well, as soon as you hear me slamming down, on the metal, then with my rings," I said, "then you'll know that's absolutely 1,000,000% me." It might happen tomorrow, because, of course, this is a home game for Gillette. Of course, no fans allowed or tailgating, which that was our plan originally. Like, you know what? If we can't go to the game, we'll still tailgate and watch it on the massive screen. And then they said, "Yeah, no tailgating." So one more beat down of fans, but I get it. We want to get through this pandemic and come out stronger and, healthier on the other side. So fingers crossed and prayers that we find a solution and a vaccination, for this unfortunate
one ASAP. All right, so the hoodie, your coach, he came out and he started talking about Darren Waller, our tight end. And a lot of times, Bill Belichick, he'll focus on one player and shut them out or try to shut them down. Now, do you think that's a wise decision? Because we still got Josh Jacobs who can run it all over y'all. So how do you see your defense attacking our offense?
Well, here's the thing, is that if you take away your biggest asset, which for you could be Waller, and maybe we have some rushes in so that there's no time for a play to develop, then you're gonna change the game. And I mean, I try not to be overly I don't want to say it, obnoxious, but everyone knows that Bill is a genius. He's just, seriously, he's the most winning quarterback, most winning coach, no matter what quarterback. I mean, obviously, he has rings before the Patriots, and I think people forget that. And the one biggest thing, no matter what, yes, Bill is an absolute genius. But just to let you know, in my heart, who I think the absolute biggest Einstein in the NFL is absolutely Mr. Robert Kraft. No other time, I'm not sure if all of Raider Nation knows this, at no other time was a first-round draft pick ever given to get a coach. Not then, not before, or not after. We had the only time it was ever done. And all of the fans were like, "Why would you do that? Like, just offer more money." And no one understood the premise on why Mr. Kraft would be, let's give them a first-round draft pick because we don't want to be without this coach. Because unfortunately, we had moved on from Parcells, so it was like, okay, what do you do? And Mr. Kraft, he brokered this deal, and sure enough, we gave up a draft pick. But what people also don't realize is the fact that we gave around our first draft pick, we couldn't get another quarterback in the first or the second round because we had already traded away our second round. So we didn't end up getting Tom that next year, of course, until the 6th round, 198th pick. But most people don't realize that could have changed our destiny. Had we had that first round pick and some other coach might have used it for a different quarterback and said, yeah, we don't want Tom. He's the bottom of the barrel because he's pretty slow. He's old, well, now too old and too slow, they say, but you got to look at something like that. If you actually look at all pieces of the puzzle and say, wow, that is beyond genius. That Mr. Kraft would be the first and foremost owner to ever say, you know what? I don't mind it. Fans might be mad at me, but they'll get over it. And sure enough, we have.
All right, cool. So on our way out, give me a score. What's the score?
All right, so I want to, of course, keep it as close as possible. If I had to say, I'm going to go with probably 27-21, of course, Patriots.
Okay, I got us winning at 24-17. I think that, we're going to come in, y'all are going to focus on Waller, and we're going to be able to run the ball down y'all's throats. I mean, if you look at the stats, they're pretty evenly matched. Carr passes a little bit more than Newton, but then, Newton's ground game has really opened up y'all's offense. They both like to hit the flats and slant routes. They both can attack downfield, but the flats and the slant routes are their main thing. So I think we're pretty evenly matched. Our defense is starting to catch on. I think our secondary is going to be able to keep up with y'all. It's just a matter of double teaming Edelman, as you said, because he can play. But yeah, it's going to be a close one. I don't think this one's going to be as high scoring as the previous games because now there's 3 games to take. Now we know what the tendencies are and things like that. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
I totally agree. No matter what, I always tell people, I just want a good game. I don't want to blow out. I don't want to see anyone hurt. I want to have fun. I want to be able to get into the game. And you can't if it ends up being one of those 30-6 games.
Right.
You want to see a good game, and that's what it's all about, no matter what. All right, so even to answer a question that you didn't ask, am I depressed about last week? Absolutely not. That was a great game versus Seattle, and it also showed that the boys could pull together and get a comeback coming.
Yeah, y'all got to the 1 yard line and just that they were ready for that RPO.
Yeah,
y'all are threat on offense, y'all are solid on defense, but I think that we're evenly matched. So it's going to be a good game, good low scoring game. It's going to come down to Belichick and Gruden. This is their game. You know what I mean? We know on the Raiders that we can move the ball. We're balanced on defense. In Carolina, they missed 2 interceptions, and then last week they got another one. So they're there. We're just waiting on our defensive line to start showing up. But it's pretty evenly matched. It's going to be a low-scoring game. But, hey, one quick thing, though. It was a fumble.
You think so?
Yeah.
Keep watching the tape.
I saw it, damn it. The ball was right here, man. All right? It was right here. It wasn't. No. It was right here. It was a fumble. It was a fumble.
But we don't make those decisions, and sometimes we don't always agree with the refs. And sometimes that even changes destiny. That they change things. Like I don't know how you feel. I don't like this whole, on kickoff that they automatically get 25-yard lines if they all want to be wimps and not touch the ball. I get it. They don't want to get hurt, but the fact is also to give them free 25-yard lines. Just leave it at the 20. It was fine the way it was.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
I like special teams the way it used to be.
I do too. But you know what? We're fans and we've got to go with it. They don't ask us for our vote like we do, in this wonderful nation, for our leaders. But anyway, all I can say, let's have a great game today.
Game,
no matter what, let's go!
Yes! Hey, tell the Raider Nation how to find you on social media.
Yes. All right. Enjoy the day. Enjoy our wonderful Sunday of football.
And how do they find you on social media?
On Instagram, I'm Patriots_SilverBullet. And on Facebook and Twitter, I'm just SilverBullet.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming on the Raider Homer channel. I appreciate it.
Hey, enjoy the day. Let's go.
Let's go. Hello, Raider Nation. Welcome to Behind the... Oh, man, I got to do better on getting that loop out of there. Appreciate everybody showing up in the chat line. We got the Raider Critique, Raider Dre 420, Watts Raider. We got, I've been tearing it up in the chat line, y'all. Those 3 have been killing it. Squid, I saw Squid in here. So I appreciate everybody showing up, man. Yeah, that dude, I'm telling you, man, he loved flashing those rings. You saw that, right? He was doing that as much as possible, man. But like I said, he has a great story. He's a cool dude. Yeah, you're right, Critique. He seems like a guy that would be cool to hang out with, watch a game with, man. Well, he said he didn't like to be obnoxious, so I don't know if he'd like to watch a game with me. But that's crazy to think, right? That if they would have kept that first round pick and not got Bill Belichick, then they wouldn't even drafted Brady. Man, we wouldn't have had to suffer through that 20 years and then watch this guy flash all those rings, man. Hey, but you know what? You're right, Watts. We're over that, right? It's our time now. Now we got to go get those championship rings. We got to get those. We got to make that run. So, all right, but we're a little bit behind. So let's go ahead and get to the Raider Nation perspective with Raider Jester. All right, Raider Nation, welcome back to the Raider Nation perspective. Today, we're going to hear from Raider Jester. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing just great, brother. Man, after the just win that we just had last week, I'm still on a high.
Man, that was a great weekend in Vegas. Great weekend in Vegas. Hey, man, and speaking of Vegas, dude, you've moved to Vegas, man, since last you were on the Raider Homer channel. So, how's it going over there?
Man, you know what? I'm loving it. I'm loving everything about it. I mean, the atmosphere, the love that just everywhere you're driving, everywhere you're just going to stores, everything just Raider out. You know what I mean? It's like, what more does a diehard Raider fan need in his life? But it's just everything Raiders.
Everything Raiders. Everything Raiders is winning in the Super Bowl.
Winning. I love that. I love it out here. The only thing I had to do is just in the beginning, I had to get used to the heat. It was horrible. I'm used to that Southern California weather. But you know what? As I got used to it a little bit, I started adapting to it, and it was just great.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm from Texas, man, so I could handle the heat over there. It was dry. I was just happy it wasn't humid. I'm tired of the humidity.
No, I love it out here. I mean, you know what? I just wish I would probably move out here a lot sooner than I did.
Man, dude, I'm seriously contemplating moving there, dude. I seriously am, man. I want to be there for the 8 games every year and then travel, to the other games on the road.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Yes. I'm loving it.
Well, cool, brother. All right, so what do we got to do this week to win this game, man?
I'm going to tell you what we need to do, and what we've been needing to do is our defense needs to step up. Our defense, it's been just allowing people to just run over us as far as like our Camaro last week. Man, that first half, I ain't going to lie, it was a nail biter. I was like, man, come on, defense, come on. For the whole time, our offense, we straight. Our offense, we got the weapons. Yeah, I know Ruggs is hurt. Jacobs a little banged up. Williams is out. I get that. But you know what? We still got weapons. We got Waller. We got Renfro. We got Jones. We got them where we can beat them. It's just our defense can step up, play the whole 60 minutes, and we're going to be good. I'm telling you, as long as our defense steps up this year, man, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Hey, you preaching to the choir right there, brother. Yeah, so, our defensive line hasn't necessarily performed very well. I think this week, though, this is not the week to try to get those sacks. This is the week that we need to play contain. Of course, you can't just let Cam Newton sit there, but you got to keep your gap. You know what I mean? If you can't get to the quarterback, keep your gap. Get your hands up. And I'm curious to see if maybe they'll send, some blitz packages in. Not with the slot, though. I think LaMarcus Joyner is a little too small, but I want to see, Littleton blitz. I want to see Abram blitz. You know what I mean? I want to see some of our hitters get on top of Cam Newton, man.
I really think that they're going to send Littleton and possibly Abram in a little more just because, to be honest with you, I really don't feel, I don't know, it's just me personally, I don't feel that New England is a team to really worry about because the Brady's not there anymore. You know what I mean? The cheating Brady. You know what I mean? So I think if it would be better if it was Brady was there, then it would be like more of a fight. I think we're gonna go in there a little relaxed, but I think we still need to be on our P's and Q's. Because you never know. We're on a 2-0 record right now. We're on a roll. We don't want to let that go down.
No. We want this win. And, there's a lot of talk going on right now about being on the road, but, the last couple of years, we've started out pretty rough, on the road, traveling a lot, and they've played well on the road, at least as far as I can remember, you know what I mean? But I think that they can handle this road trip, but yeah, it's about stopping Cam Newton this week you got to stop him.
Definitely. I believe it's about them. You know, I mean, like I said, if Brady was there, I was really worried about it. I don't know why. I'm just not really worried about New England no more. I'm good with them. I think I think we can go in there, beat them, and come out with the big W.
Yeah. I think that this is going to be Josh Jacobs' game. I think, he's a little banged up, like you said, but the Patriots have a smaller defensive line, so we need our hogs to come off the ball and push them back and let Josh Jacobs get those yards and keep that ball, in our hands and keep, Cam Newton off the field. Our offense is legit, man. We have a legit offense. We can score. We can control the clock. And if you look at the stats, that's kind of what the Patriots like to do. But Cam Newton, he likes the flats and he likes the slots. He'll take a shot down the field, but that's where he's at. So I'm hoping we play a little cover two, for the most part, and keep our eyes on Cam Newton. Don't let him break that pocket. And if he does, get to him quick, wrap him up, and get him down. But this is Josh.
I don't think Cam Newton is like a weapon like he used to be when he first came into the NFL. Because when he first came in, he was a pretty dynamic quarterback. I mean, he used to run, he used to throw it. I mean, like he was pretty good. But overall, he's real accident prone. So I think New England knows that. And they're like, look, you need to stay back in that pocket. You need to throw it. You need to stop running. You know what I mean? You're going to be okay. And so I don't think we have to worry about him on the run so much. You know what I mean? But he still has a little arm on him. I ain't going to take that away from him. But I really don't believe the Raiders have anything to worry about with that dude. I think we're going to be good. I think we're coming home with that big W, I'm telling you. Now,
What do you think the score is going to be?
I mean, that's what I really believe in my heart.
What do you think the score is going to be?
To be honest with you, I think I think the line has it that we're going to lose by 5, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? I could be wrong about that, but I think we're going to at least win by a touchdown, at least.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be close as everybody thinks it is. I think we're going to win by at least a touchdown.
That's about where I'm at. I got us at 24-17. I think that, like I said, we know our offense can score. We just need to run the ball, keep the ball in our hands, run that clock out, and score when we can. And then our defense, just don't give up the big play. Don't give up the big play. Don't let Cam Newton kill you on third down. I think that's the key.
Like I say, I'm gonna keep preaching it all the way to the end. You know what I mean? As long as our defense steps up, we're gonna be just fine because our offense has the weapons. And and as long as our offense stays healthy, I don't think nobody can stop our weapons.
Oh yeah.
No way.
So who do you think will be the player of the game then?
I'm gonna go out on a limb, man, and I'm gonna say Renfro.
Renfro, huh?
I'm gonna say Renfro. Now, I mean, Waller showed out last game. We had Jacob show up the first game and this game a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna pass the start on somebody else this week because like I say, like you say, Ruggs, he's a little banged up. I don't think they're gonna run him like they want to. I think they're gonna give him a little break a little bit. But
he's out.
If it ain't gonna be Renfro, it's gonna be Wayne. That's my opinion. I'm gonna roll with that.
Well, there you go, brother. Now, I can see Renfro stepping up this week. Because Bill Belichick, he usually likes to take away the best offensive weapon of the opposing team, and he came out this week in his press conference, and he was just talking about Waller. So I think he wants to shut down Waller. So Renfro, I think he's definitely going to have a big, opportunity to have a big game, this game. So I can see that happening.
Like last year, Waller showed out last year. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, he led our team in yards. I mean, he's an awesome tight end. He's a big dude, and he's already on the roll again. So I think New England sees that, and they're gonna double team him, or so somebody else is gonna have to open up, and I think Renfro's gonna be the man.
I would love that because you remember during the draft when we drafted Renfro, they showed Bill Belichick slamming his shit down.
Yeah.
So it would be great to have Renfro come in and because he does remind me of that Danny Amendola or whatever that guy's name was, and then and then the guy they got right now, Edelman. He's that type of wide receiver, that slot guy that can play tough and get you the first down. So I'd love to give.
I mean, everybody knows Renfro, but you know what? To be honest with you, like Renfro is not like a big name like a Ruggs right now, or like a Waller. But he's out there, and he's like a little. I don't know why. Every time I think of Renfro, it's like a little sneaky weasel. You know what I mean? Like he'll just creep up in there and boom, make those start plays. You know what I mean? And just trying to stay low key with it.
Yeah, he reminds me, not that I saw him play, I didn't see Biletnikoff play, but I've seen the highlights. He reminds me of Biletnikoff. He's sure-handed, gets open, not necessarily the fastest or the biggest guy on the field, but clutch.
Yeah.
Just clutch.
Most definitely. And that's exactly where my mind's at with Renfro. I mean, so I think he's going to show out. I think this is going to be his game. Somebody needs to step up because we got some injured, not completely injured, but some banged up offensive people. I mean, so I believe that somebody else is going to step up.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think maybe Edwards is going to have a big game too. He's a big wide receiver. You saw him last week when he just snatched that ball out of the air, turned around and bolted for the first down.
Yeah.
I can see Gruden trying to game plan him into what we're doing on offense like he did Ruggs. Now that Ruggs is out, so I can see Edwards having a big game too.
I mean, you know what, Homer? To be honest with you, I mean, like I say, we got so many weapons. I mean, and I might be just out on a limb with Renfro, but I mean, like I said, we got Aguilar still. I mean, don't underestimate Aguilar. Come on, I mean, you know what? He's always been I guess like a low key dude, but I mean, he shows out.
Oh yeah, I love how against Carolina he kept his hands down until that ball got right on him, and then let it hit it and get there in the pocket. And that defender, he couldn't do anything because the defender was looking at him, trying to see when the ball was coming. But he was a savvy veteran that didn't give it away until it was too late, and he caught it. So Aguilar can have a big game too. I mean, they got to.
I really hate to just say one person, but. Like I say, because we got so many weapons on our offense.
Yeah.
We got so many. I mean, or we can spread that ball. If we spread the ball during the game, I think we're going to be just fine too. Because then we're going to leave all the other teams in like, where are they going? What are they doing now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because so many weapons. But I just believe in Renfro, and that's going to be where my mind's going to be at. I'm going to want him to get it this year.
All right, cool. So where are you watching the game in Vegas this weekend?
You can catch me at Tommy Rockers. I mean, where just all game wise is going to be there every game. But you know what? To be honest, I'm going to try and spread the love and try and visit a couple other spots. I'm going to try and hit Stage Door.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and hit Tailgating Tavern also. But my main spot I'm going to probably be at is Tommy Rockers.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. If anybody was there during the game watch on Monday, Tommy Rocker was fire. And he was.
Hey, I gotta tell you something though, dude. Stage Door is badass too. Cisco had that place rocking. Gorilla was there. Big Bad Wolf was there. It was fun. Mad Max showed up. Ronnie, dude. I like Stage Door too. It is a little small, but Cisco, he was talking about that, but they're gonna make it work for now. But both of those spots, man. I appreciate Michael, inviting us to a broadcast over there, and then and then Cisco letting us do our thing at the Stage Door.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, CDs where the Villanos have their spot at. I haven't visited there yet. I heard it's okay over there. Because because you're in Vegas, there's so many places that's going to be game watching it. So, and to be honest with you, there's so many Raider fans where you probably won't be able to go wrong.
Yeah.
All the spots are going to be all Raidered out. So, it's not going to be hard to find a spot.
Well, one day, one of these games that I love to get you down here in Austin, dude, and watch the game with us at the South Austin Beer Garden, man.
Well, definitely. I mean, I have a couple events coming up in California. It's kind of weird for me to say, California now because I'm in Vegas. I'm used to being in California, but my backyard. But now I have to travel to California. I got a couple events coming down over there soon. So I'm going to be going game watch over there with OLARB, with the original Los Angeles Raider boosters, and then also with the IE Raider boosters. I'm trying to spread the love and trying to, get around this year as much as I possibly can with COVID.
Yeah, just be careful. But yeah, you've already dealt with that, so I'm glad you made it out of all that, brother.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it was a struggle, but me and my wife, we did it.
Amen. Thank God.
Yes.
All right, cool. So tell the Raider Nation where they can find you on social media.
Okay, Raider Nation, you can find me on Raider.Jester on Instagram and on Facebook, Raider Jester. I want to give a big shout out to my boys, Raider Wolf, man, Trouble, Certified 13, Lonnie Cash, Raider Goon, Hell Raider, Iron Man, My Boss, Jersey, all of them. It just keep the list just keep going and going. You know what?
I know.
I try to spread the love. I got nothing but love for the Raider Nation. Much love to everyone.
That's the way to be, brother. It's all about Raider love, right?
Yes, most definitely. Stop the violence, stop the negativity, just increase the peace. And try to promote positivity. It's every day is a new day. Let's change this.
Amen to that. One nation.
One nation, all day.
Raiders.
Yes. Hey, Homer, you want to say?
All right, Raider Nation. Thanks for staying tuned. We're going to shout out to the chat line. Hollywood Raider, what's up, brother? Raider Critique, Watts Raider, thanks for hanging out. Who else we got in here? Squid, I've seen Squid in here. A bunch of people, man. Shout out to Raider Dre 420. Appreciate everybody tuning in. As I said earlier, Coach Hansen, he got tied up, so he won't be on this show today for the Coach's Corner. But I have a special guest for you. How you doing, Raider Crusader?
Hi, how you doing there, Homer? It's Crusader Raider, London, England. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. I said that backwards, didn't I? Crusader Raider. How you doing, brother? My bad.
I'm doing absolutely awesome. You're forgiven already. You're forgiven already.
Like I said earlier, it's that whiskey, man. I got that whiskey hangover right now, so.
No problem with that at all. Hey, let me put a quick shout out to Squid. Hey, Brian, what happened? What started in London, finished in Vegas. Hey, that was the start of Raider, Squid.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he was talking about that story on Monday Nights Live. Yeah, man, Squid is a cool guy. I got to hang out with him this week, last weekend. So
absolutely awesome guy. He came to all the London games and a real good guy.
Cool. Hey, so I played your commercial earlier, but I think I messed up on the audio because this has just been one of those mornings. But tell the Raider Nation about your 300 member drive for the Silver and Black UK.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we're pushing for an additional 300 members this year to support all our charitable work both sides of the pond. And Silver and Black UK was formed 6.5 years ago, ready for the Raiders game against the Dolphins in London. Which was 6 years ago today at Wembley Stadium. Not a great result for the Raiders, but that was the birth of Silver and Black UK. And this year, obviously, with the inability for us to be able to travel across the pond due to coronavirus, etc., and our inability to meet up as much as we'd like to in the UK, we're doing a big push on our membership this year to try and encourage people to join Silver and Black UK, the worldwide Raider Nation here in the United Kingdom. So the cost is very nominal. It's only like $25-$30. You get your huge swag pack. This year it's got an exclusive challenge coin in there. You've got a pennant in there. You've got lanyards, membership cards. You've got Silver and Black UK playing cards, and you've got a Silver and Black UK flag. Lots of good goodies in there that will be sent across to you. And you can sign up at www.silverandblackuk.com membership. You can get it there. And as I say, all the proceeds from the membership drive, and I say it's only $30, and all that's going to go support charities both sides of the pond. Here in the UK this year, we're supporting local schools that support children with additional needs, disabled children with autism and learning disabilities. And in the States, we're once again hoping to support the Blitnikoff Foundation and support Fred and Angela. So please sign up, please join us. I know Squid's a member, and lots of other people have signed up, and it would be great to see a real good push on Silver and Black UK this year, and we'd appreciate any support that people can give us.
Well, I'll definitely be signing up.
That's awesome, my friend. That's awesome. It's, as I say, it's been an unusual year. Normally, we would be meeting up tonight. I was supposed to be in New England tonight. That was going to be one of my games for this season, one of my road trips. This will be the first time in 25 years and 25 seasons that Crusader Raiders not made it across the pond. I've done 87 trips to come over there and see the Raiders, over 200 games over a 25-year period. But sadly, obviously, due to the current health restrictions and that, there's no Raider football for Crusader Raider this year, which is a real shame. But hopefully, if this virus can get sorted out, I'll be ready for playoff football in January.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Let's kick this virus out. Let's get it sorted, and let's get back to some Raider football, because I know a lot of you guys met up in Vegas last week, and I hope you stayed safe and well, and looks like you had a good time. But that place is looking pretty awesome, and I don't know whether you guys see those trucks driving around the street with the fans on it, the commercials with the fans on the side of the trucks, the big TV screens. Well, fortunately, they did put a picture up of Crusader Raider and Crossbones Kelly, so by Tower Bridge in London. So we was going up and down the Vegas Strip. So even though we can't be with you, Silver and Black UK was represented in Vegas. We were up and down that strip last weekend, and in our own special way, I think we all did our bit to get that victory last week, which was so needed and so important for the Raiders.
Oh yeah, it was. So how do we get a victory this week?
Well, I think we get a great victory this week. We're going to shut Cam down. And, obviously this is, people talk about, what happened with the tuck rule years ago. I think it's like 18 years ago now or whatever. But we've never got a revenge for that. And sports fans, we have the longest memory in the world when it comes to thinking about when we get a payback on things that go against us. And I think tonight is the time that we're going to get that payback tonight. We're going to shut down the offense of the New England Patriot Rats. And then once we've shut that Patriot Rat defense down and that Bill Belichick, once we shut them down and make sure, we need to get Cam Newton on his backside tonight. If we can get Cam Newton on his back a few times early doors so he doesn't feel it's so comfortable to run, then we've got a serious chance to win this game. If we give Cam Newton the space to run at us, then we're going to have, it's going to be a tough night for us. But then we've also got to believe in our own offense, because, Derek Carr, Ruggs the third is out, but Derek Carr has got weapons all over the place this year with our wide receiver core, with our tight ends, and obviously we've got a huge running game. So, yes, we've got some offensive linemen out, but we've got an opportunity tonight to put points on New England, and we've just got to control the clock, put Cam back in his place, mark Edelman like he's a rash, don't let Edelman go running on us. And we've got a chance. And they've got no Patriot fans there behind them. Not that they've really got any fans, because, they've only got the ones that they've had from the last few years when they've been winning things. Whoever remembers the Patriots before 15, 20 years ago?
Well, to be fair, the SilverBullet, he was just on the show. He's been dedicated to that team all the way back to when they were wearing white and blue. But the Patriots fan base really grew during that 20-so years or whatever that Brady was there, man, for sure. Because I remember never seeing Patriots fans.
We can't take it fully away from them. At the end of the day, they had some great victories. They had some great offense. They had some great players and things like that. And we can't always think of them as the cheats with Spygate and everything else that went on, and deflating balls and whatever. Because if you remember back to the 70s, I think we had a few tricks of our own in the Raider Nation to win games.
That's what I've always said. Raider rule number one.
Raider, exactly. And if you don't do that, follow rule number 2. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So, we know how to win. But what's important tonight is avoid penalties. We cannot give them anything, because if we're disciplined in what we do tonight, if we attack them, it's not too cold yet in New England, so we're not going to be cold there. It's not going to be frozen out. But it's a chance there that Cam Newton is an excellent quarterback. But Derek Carr is also an excellent quarterback. And, Derek is stepping up. Derek knows it's time to step up, and Derek is stepping up. And, protect Derek, we get the win. Stop Cam, we get the win.
Hey, amen. Those were pretty much my keys to victory. And then, of course,
Exactly.
this is Gruden. Gruden, it's a chess match between Gruden and Belichick right now, So Gruden has to out-coach Bill Belichick. That's where the revenge factor comes in my mind. Because then that means that we have the coach that can beat, a legendary coach like Bill Belichick. And let's not lie about it, right? I mean, Bill Belichick's going down as one of the greatest coaches of all time. But if we can have our coach beat Bill Belichick, mentally, then I think that shows that our coach is back. There was a lot of questions whether Gruden could come back and survive in today's game. Obviously, could he relate to the players? Obviously, he can relate to the players. Obviously, he still knows how to call a game. But is he mentally there, ready to beat the best of the best, right? Because you got to beat the best to be the best. So if we can start here, I think we're primed within the next 2 years to start winning Super Bowls.
Exactly, and we've already put a statement down with those first two victories because obviously, what could have happened, with the Panthers, we could have crumbled at the Panthers. I don't think they're the strongest team in the NFL, but then obviously with Drew Brees last week, being 10 points behind, getting that pick just before halftime and tying the game up with 17, it's a different Raider team. It's a different mentality, and we've got to take that mentality forward tonight and believe that even if we go behind, that we can come back and still get a victory rather than being, sadly, in some previous years, we pushed it too hard. The time to get the victory is not in the first quarter. The time to get the victory is at the end. We can get that victory in the fourth quarter and hold in there, stay in the game, protect the ball, do the right things. And we got a great kicker as well. So, if we have to win it on the last kick of the game with Carlson, we'll get it on the last kick of the game. But whatever happens, we just got to get that win tonight.
Yeah. Like you talked about going down and coming back, man. Derek Carr, as long as we stay close and Derek Carr gets that ball with 2 minutes to go, we got a chance. And that's what I mean, man. Pairing John Gruden and Derek Carr, to me, in my mind, that was a perfect pairing. A lot of the Raider Nation was like, no, we should have kept Matt, blah, blah, blah. But, Derek Carr was a short passer, intermediate passer. The West Coast offense is an intermediate passing offense. Rich Gannon didn't throw a bunch of bombs. He did not throw a bunch of bombs. He excelled in the slant routes and the flat. So Derek Carr is he's a perfect quarterback for John Gruden. I think that as long as Gruden can, make the halftime adjustments and get his coaching mind right, we're going to the Super Bowl for sure.
Exactly. And the days of the long bomb, I mean, some of those defensive backs and those safeties, they're back there. They're skilled positions these days. The long bomb is great, but those little short passes and those little pick up 6 yards, pick up 8 yards. You look at Waller, what Waller did last week. Waller didn't go picking up no great big, huge, big chunk, but he picked up good sized chunks consistently. Yeah. And that's what we need to do. And obviously, just getting the players that we've got on board. And there's players on this team now that are there to prove it for themselves. We've got players that, Zay Jones, Waller, they want to prove themselves. They're not here for just the salary. They want to prove themselves and fight back. And then we've got the young blood that's coming through with Ingold and we've got people there that want to do it. And you look at that relationship in the locker room that he's got with the team. He's got them going. But Max Crosby, he could be a big player tonight. And, we need Mad Max to get through there and do some damage. But, it's staying in the game. And we'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Do you have any more announcements for Silver and Black UK?
Well, yesterday was the launch of Silver and Black UK TV. We started our first link there on Silver and Black UK TV. We'll be doing our pre-game show later on tonight, and so that's going through. Please, as I said before, I know it's tough times. A lot of people are experiencing financial hardship, and obviously, we're concerned about everybody's health and well-being at these times. But if you can support Silver and Black UK, we'd love you to be part of our growing family. We'd love to be part of what we're doing. Everything that we raise, we're totally non-for-profit. We're there to support the fans, to grow the fan base over here in the United Kingdom and Europe, and to unite the fan base from the UK across the pond to all our family and friends in the States. So I say go to www.silverandblackuk.com, click on the VIP membership. Please join us, get your challenge coin, get your pennants, get your flags, get all your freebies, and most important of all, support the charities and unite us all as fans across the world.
Amen. Worldwide Raider Nation, man, it's always good to hear from you, Crusader Raider.
Always great to speak to you, Homer. And I tell you, next time I'm coming on in the video things because I'm going to be in uniform next time. Next time we'll do uniform and we can talk about where we're going. So let's make that happen. I say big shout out to everybody who sent best wishes to us all across the pond here. We appreciate the support. You know, the Raider Nation that will get us through this pandemic. We'll get through this together and we'll support each other. And you know, things like this. You know, when we can talk to each other, it puts a smile back on people's faces.
Oh, yeah.
We can support each other, help each other out, be together in a safe way. Then we'll come through this, and then when we reach the Death Star next year, boy oh boy, is that place going to explode! You know, let's explode it. Let's explode it together, and let's show KC what's going on. The West is there to be taken again. You know, the West is there and it's open. Forget about Denver at the moment. Denver's stuttering a little bit, but we've got to still be wary of Denver. The Chargers. You know, it's a shame we can't go down there because that South Oakland game would be something else in that new Chargers. Well, it's not even their stadium, in that new Ram stadium down in LA. But I'm looking forward to going to there. And KC, it proved last week, KC are not the all conquering. You know, the Chargers nearly beat them last week. And, you know, if we can just handle our business, keep close to KC in the West, and get through to them playoffs. You know, we could get through to a playoffs with a 9-7, 10-6 record this year. Let's get through because there's the extra teams in the playoffs, and then who knows what's going to happen. People won't want to come to Vegas once we've got fans in that place. You know that.
Amen to that. They'll be like, ooh, don't go over there. We're going to dominate, dude.
Exactly.
Raider Nation showed up last weekend, so we're going to dominate Vegas.
Exactly. You know, once we all get there, oh, God help them. They think they experienced something last weekend with a few thousand. Once you get 50, 60,000 of us in there every weekend, that place is going to really buzz then.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool.
And let's say it will never replace Oakland like it will never replace LA. But we are the Raiders. That's who we are. We're worldwide. We're just going to win, baby. We're going to get this win tonight. We're going to do it together. And that's why we're worldwide. It's all about us. It's not about others. Do our job. We'll be okay.
Amen to that. Tell Raider Nation how to find you on social media.
You can find us on social media. Crusader Raiders at Facebook. Keith Smith. You'll find me on social media. Silver and Black UK is on Twitter. It's got its Silver and Black UK website and Silver and Black UK fan pages. Just look out, Brian. Thanks for flying that flag for us, and Caesar flying that Silver and Black UK flag, and obviously little Chucky. You know, the little plug out little Chucky did for Silver and Black UK. We appreciate that as well. So, you know, it's a change in Raider Nation, and you know, it's changing times, but. You know, check me out on Facebook. You can hang in there on Crusader Raider or Keith Smith, and be great to see you. Great to link up with people, and I appreciate the support you're doing. The show is awesome. The way that you support us, the way you keep smiles on the faces, and the way that we're together. These shows mean a lot to us, especially us over the world, the other side of the world. You know, I'm 5,500 miles away chatting to you about Raider football. How great is that?
That's awesome. I love it. You know.
Okay.
And it's a privilege to represent the Raider Nation with pride and poise and a commitment to excellence, man. I love doing it. It's a labor of love. So I appreciate, you know, the support.
Perfect. Keep doing the great job, and I look forward to speaking to you video time next time. We'll work it out. We'll make it happen.
All
Stay
right.
safe, Raider Nation. This is Keith Smith, Crusader Raider, and I'm out.
Woo! Crusader Raider, man. Look at that, Raider Nation.
Speak to you soon.
All right, cool. All right, Raider Nation, man. Crusader Raider showed up and delivered. All right, Crusader Raider. Make sure y'all find him on social media. Keith Smith, man, he's a great guy. So hopefully we still have audio. But anyways, now, here we go. Okay, cool. All right, so shout out to the chat line. Watch Raider still hanging around. Raider Critique still hanging around. Good to see you, brother. That black down. Bro, just bring the win and quit telling. Carr's not going to run, goddammit. He's not going to do it, okay? It's the other players have a job to do also. All right? Hold your block. Get open. All right? And Carr's going to deliver the ball. All right? Come on, man. And I'm swear to God, I am so tired of watching this sloppy-ass football where these quarterbacks are just running all over the place. Why even pay the other fucking players? Just play 7-on-7 if it comes to that point, man. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on. Derek Carr's a pocket passer. He'll always be a pocket passer. He ran for more yards last year than he did in 2016. He runs only when he needs to. Like, just let's just be happy that his confidence is back. and he's throwing the rock around the yard. But anyways, man, look, Black Thanos got me worked up, man. Come on, man, bro. You know how I get, man. Hollywood Raiders still in here. Let's see. All right, well, man, Critique and Watson been going at it. Oh, War Raider Machine, how you doing, brother? Let's see, Raider Dre 420. Squid was in here. So, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. You know how we like to end these shows. I got to get ready. I got to go watch the game with the Austin chapter of the Black Hole at South Austin Beer Garden. Woo, baby, this is our first game there. They've opened the doors up for us, man. They've invited us in there. They want to be the Raider Bar in Austin, Texas. So I'm looking forward to going there, and I got to get my ass ready. All right, cool. I'm glad the audio's still good. All right, here we go. Later. Raiders!
What message do you have for the Raider Nation here and now and into the future?
Pretty simple, brother. Raider Nation, I'm speaking to you as an ambassador. Always stay true, stay loyal, keep the beliefs, and keep the faith. We will return.